Metformin is one of the most prescribed drugs for type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, and PCOS. And while it is effective at lowering blood sugar, it's not without its downsides. What if I told you that metformin comes with a long list of side effects, some mild and some potentially dangerous? If you're currently taking metformin or you're considering taking it, this is something you need to know. From nutrient deficiencies and digestive issues to fatigue and even muscle loss, metformin can have serious consequences, especially if taken long-term. So in today's video, we're going to be covering how metformin works and why it's prescribed, 10 common side effects, including some that aren't often talked about, and natural alternatives that can also help you improve insulin sensitivity and balance blood sugar, but without as many side effects. And as always, there's going to be timestamps on the progress bar, so if you want to skip ahead to any section, feel free to do so. Let's start from the beginning. What is metformin? Metformin, also known by the brand name Glucophage, is an oral prescription drug that improves how the body responds to insulin. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, then you'll know that prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and PCOS are all caused by insulin resistance. And that's why metformin is prescribed for all of these, because the root cause is the same. Insulin's job is to shuttle sugar from our blood to our cells. But when you have insulin resistance, your cells stop responding to insulin properly. Over time, this leads to chronically high blood sugar and eventually type 2 diabetes. But it starts years before your blood sugar starts to go up. So you can be insulin resistant and your blood sugar can look normal. And how does metformin help here? Metformin makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, allowing sugar to enter them more easily. And it also reduces the amount of sugar your liver releases into the blood, helping to stabilize glucose levels. And this also helps with PCOS, because insulin resistance is the driver behind PCOS symptoms. The three main ones being irregular periods, ovarian cysts, and high testosterone. All three of these are caused by insulin resistance. Because when our insulin levels are high, this blocks the body from converting testosterone into estrogen, which of course means your testosterone stays high, key symptom number one. And when this happens, you don't ovulate, causing your period to become irregular, key symptom number two. And this also causes cysts on your ovaries, key symptom number three. Metformin is also effective for weight loss because the reason that a lot of people find it difficult to lose weight is they have insulin resistance and they don't know it. When insulin is high, insulin is also known as the fat storage hormone, so the body is storing fat and it can't burn it. By improving insulin sensitivity, metformin allows your insulin levels to drop, and when insulin is low, this is when your body goes into fat burning mode. Okay, so right about now, I'm sure you're thinking, metformin sounds pretty great. But like I said at the start, there are downsides. And I'm not making this video to tell you to not take metformin, but just to be aware of the side effects, because there are things you can do to avoid them. In a lot of cases, not all of the time. But let's get into the side effects. So we're going to start with the more common ones, and then we'll get into the less common but more serious ones. The first one is gas, bloating, and digestive distress. These symptoms are the most common reason that people stop taking metformin. Over 50% of people on metformin experience diarrhea, bloating, and stomach cramps. And this is because metformin disrupts gut bacteria, leading to these digestive issues. Like I said, these are the most common symptoms. Now, they do tend to go away after a few weeks if you're consistently taking metformin. So a lot of people can push through and then their body adapts. Another thing you can do is take an extended release version of metformin instead. This also tends to help. But if these symptoms continue long-term, they can be pretty unpleasant. Number two is nausea and vomiting. 20% of people report this symptom when they start taking metformin. So again, that's a pretty high percentage. This tends to improve if metformin is taken with food, however, or again, switching to an extended release version. Number three is fatigue and low energy. And here we get into some of the nutrients that metformin depletes. When you take metformin, it depletes key nutrients like vitamin B9, which is folate, vitamin B12, and CoQ10. These are essential nutrients for energy production. Without them, you're going to feel weak and exhausted. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about these nutrients towards the end of this video, but making sure you're getting enough of these nutrients through your diet and supplementing if necessary can help to prevent this side effect. Number four is tingling in your hands and feet. Vitamin B12 deficiency can cause nerve damage over time, leading to tingling or numbness. This can even result in peripheral neuropathy, which is common in diabetics. Now, this is of extra concern if you are someone who doesn't eat a lot of meat or seafood, or who Even worse is eating a vegan diet, because in that case, you're likely not getting that much vitamin B12. So the fact that metformin is depleting it further isn't great. Again, just something to be mindful of. Number 5 is low testosterone in men. So we spoke earlier in the video about how insulin resistance causes PCOS, and for women, this can increase testosterone, but it's actually the opposite for men. Studies show that metformin significantly reduces testosterone levels in men. This can lead to low libido, erectile dysfunction, and reduced muscle mass. Number 6, hair loss. And this comes back to vitamin B9 or folate, because a deficiency in this can disrupt cell growth, leading to hair thinning and bald spots. Number 7, muscle pain and weakness. CoQ10 is an essential nutrient for energy production. So when metformin depletes it, you might experience muscle pain. And a lot of people experience this in their calves. Number 8, brain fog and mood issues. Low vitamin B12 affects brain function. This can lead to memory loss and mood swings. Number 9 is low blood sugar or hypoglycemia. So yes, metformin helps to lower blood sugar, which a lot of people who are prescribed it have high blood sugar, so this is obviously beneficial. But depending on the context of your diet and how your insulin sensitivity is improving, even depending on what you've eaten that day, metformin can sometimes cause your blood sugar to drop too low. And this can cause dizziness, shakiness, and confusion. And if it drops too low, this can be dangerous. And finally, number 10 is lactic acidosis. Now, this is rare, but it's very, very serious. Lactic acidosis is a life-threatening condition where lactic acid builds up in the bloodstream. This is most common in people with kidney issues or who drink a lot of alcohol. If untreated, this can lead to a coma or even death. Now, I talked a little bit about some of the nutrients that metformin depletes and how it's important to make sure you're getting enough through your diet and, if not, through supplements. And I want to touch on that a little bit further. So if you're taking metformin, replenishing these nutrients is critical. And a lot of doctors don't tell people this when they prescribe it. So the big 3 you need to be getting enough of are B9, B12, and CoQ10. And some of the best sources of this are grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, and pasture-raised pork. Fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel, are also good sources. Now, if you really want to make sure you're getting enough of these, the absolute best way to do that through whole food is beef liver. It's one of the richest sources of these nutrients. And I know, not a lot of people are a fan of the taste of beef liver, myself included. So if you still want to get it through a whole food source, if you still want to get the benefits, because when you're getting it through food, this is when your body can absorb these nutrients the best, then try out an organ supplement instead, because you're still getting the benefits without the taste. And I'll link to some of my favorite beef liver supplements in the description box down below. And if you are going to take a supplement, I recommend these over isolated synthetic vitamins, because when you isolate them, your body can't absorb them as well. This is why fat-soluble vitamins need to be taken along with fat. So if you can get it through a whole food source, that's going to be best. So at this point, you might be wondering if metformin is right for you. Maybe there are some adjustments you can make. And even if you still continue to take metformin, I just want to let you know that it doesn't have to be something for life. If you make the right changes to improve your insulin sensitivity, then you're going to reduce your need for metformin, and you might eventually be able to stop taking it altogether. Because there are ways you can improve your insulin sensitivity naturally. And you can do this when you're taking metformin or if you're not taking metformin. So the key to reversing insulin resistance and reversing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and PCOS, because yes, they are all reversible, is reducing insulin levels in your body. And the main way you do this is through your diet. A good place to start is cutting out processed foods and refined carbs, because these require the most insulin to process, causing your insulin levels to spike and to remain elevated. Focus your meals around protein, quality animal protein, and be smart about your carbohydrates. This is going to help to keep your blood sugar and your insulin stable. And of course, heavy emphasis on the whole foods. Healthy fats, quality protein, and ideally low sugar fruits and non-starchy vegetables. And if you want to take it one step further, intermittent fasting can accelerate your results. It doesn't have to be extreme. Even just a 12-hour fasting window every day can be extremely beneficial. Now, there is one natural supplement that can also be taken Sometimes it's prescribed alongside metformin, but it is a natural alternative. Studies have shown it to be just as effective as metformin, but it is available over the counter, and it has been shown to have fewer side effects, and that is berberine. Berberine has been shown to lower blood sugar and improve insulin resistance. It also supports gut health without causing digestive issues that metformin does. And it doesn't deplete nutrients such as B12 and CoQ10. So is metformin right for you? Now, ultimately, that is a decision for you and your doctor. But if you are taking it, please make sure to replenish the nutrients that it does deplete. However, if you're looking for a more natural approach, a low-carb diet, high in protein, including intermittent fasting and berberine, can be powerful tools for reversing insulin resistance with fewer side effects. Now, I have an entire playlist on reversing insulin resistance, and I'll link a video up above that has a meal plan to get you started. But if you do want a little bit more guidance and support, I also have a 7-day insulin resistance masterclass. Through this masterclass, you get a sample meal plan, you get a shopping list, and we can also work together through a private Facebook group. If you want to check that out, I will put the link in the description box, and I made a special code for my YouTube friends. That code is just YouTube, and that's going to save you 15%. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What has your experience been with metformin? Did you experience any side effects? Are you currently taking it? Has it benefited you? I want to hear everything, so let me know down below. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.